Hey everybody, my name is Daniel Rodriguez. I am from Algorithmia, and we're going to be taking a look at the new MLflow Algorithmia library that we have released. This new library allows MLflow users to very quickly and easily deploy their machine learning trained models to the Algorithmia platform, including the Algorithmia marketplace. This new MLflow integration is a completely native integration to MLflow. It's a very simple library to install using pip. MLflow is an open source platform for the machine learning lifecycle. It has a couple of components for tracking, managing projects, deployment of models, and a model registry. And in the MLflow models is where the MLflow Algorithmia integration comes in. It's completely integrated with the MLflow CLI and native tools, so MLflow users are going to be very familiar with this workflow. What I have done is I have created a very simple project consisting of 3 files. This is an MLflow project. We have an ML project file. We have dependencies defining a conda environment YAML file. In this case, we only need pandas, numpy, and scikit-learn. Of course, we also need MLflow. In this case, we have a very simple project taken from the MLflow documentation. So very, very straightforward project. And just want to emphasize that any machine learning model trained with MLflow, you will be able to deploy it to Algorithmia independent of the underlying libraries. In this case, it's just scikit-learn, but any TensorFlow or PyTorch model works completely fine as well. We have a couple of parameters for this project, alpha and the L1 ratio, and you just have one simple train file that will be executed with the MLflow run commands. This Python file is a very straightforward scikit-learn machine learning model training type of file. We use the MLflow library to log a couple of parameters, log some metrics that MLflow keeps track on, and then we just save the model to disk using the MLflow scikit-learn extension. But like I mentioned, you can use any other underlying libraries and they all work just totally fine. So what I also done is just created a very simple Python environment. I just installed MLflow. What we're gonna do is just go through the README file of this of our GitHub repo and install the library and go through the other usage commands right here. So I'm just gonna install the new integration. It's a very lightweight library and it will be very quickly to install. Perfect. Now that is done, what I'm going to do, instead of just running directly, I'm just going to use the MLflow command to run the project. I am in the same directory that I was just showing these 3 files on, so I can just run this directory right here, and it will use the default parameters for the execution of the project. We're just going to wait 1 second. MLflow is going to create a new conda environment just for this. So we're just going to take one super quick break here while this is running, and we'll be right back. Okay, we see that MLflow completed the execution of the project. It created a new conda environment and then run our Python trained.py script and it generated a new run ID. So if we open Finder right here, we'll see that in the same directory that we have the 3 files, MLrun created an MLruns directory. And here we have the new run ID that it was created by MLflow. The most important files in this directory is this artifact directory and then model, and this is where our pickle model was generated. We have metadata about the model that we train and even the dependencies that are going to be used. All this information is the one that we're going to send to the Algorithmia platform, and we will use this information to serve the model. That's what we're going to do right now. In this README, we go through a couple more steps, like serving the model locally using MLflow and sending a call request to that. In the interest of time, I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to go ahead and deploy it to Algorithmia directly. The only thing that you need to do is have an account in Algorithmia and generate a new API key. So I already done that, and I already exported these 2 environment variables in the terminal that I'm using. The good news is that that's all I need to deploy this model to Algorithmia. I don't need to know anything else other than just execute this command. This is a completely native MLflow deployments create command. Our library adds a new type called Algorithmia. Then you will need to name the deployment. This is going to be the same name that is going to be using on the Algorithmia platform. And then you just pass the path to the model directory that we were taking a look at with the pickle file and the other metadata. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to copy all this. The only thing that will be different is the run ID. So I'm just going to do that part manually here, 0, the run ID that we have, then artifacts and model. And that's all I really need to do. So the library is going to create a new algorithm in the Algorithmia platform. It's going to upload the pickle file to the Algorithmia data store, and it's going to update the source of the algorithm to be able to use that serialized model and serve it in the correct way, depending on the type the type of model that you trained. So this is just going to take a minute because it's also built in the modern Algorithmia. So we're just going to take another quick break and we'll be back with the final part. Okay, so the command ended the execution. This means that the model was successfully uploaded and built into the Algorithmia platform. So let's take a look at that here on my Algorithmia account. I already refreshed, so I see the new algorithm that was created. So I can take a look at this. I can look at the new build that was generated for me. And from here, I can query directly the algorithm endpoint, or I can also just use curl to query this. So just a super quick note, this is the same API endpoint that you will get if you generate or if you run the MLflow serve command. So the same data input that you pass to this endpoint is the same data input that you will pass to the deployed endpoint in Algorithmia. So everything is exactly the same. So it will be very familiar for any MLflow users. And if at one point you want to move any algorithms from another deployment type to Algorithmia, all the inputs are going to be the same and everything will just work fine. So this command already uses my Algorithmia username and my Algorithmia API key that I have exported. So I'm just going to copy this. The only thing that I need to change is here at the end, I'm just going to change the version to the one I get from the output of the previous command. And when I query this, it will just return the output from that prediction. So I'm just sending out one row, in this case, to the trained model. Okay, and there we have the result of the execution. In this case, the result is just a single line with the prediction from the classifier. So one thing we can do now that we query the model is, of course, train a new model and deploy an updated version of the model. That is very simple with the MLflow library. What I'm going to do now is I'm just going to execute this command again. In this case, we're going to have a different parameter instead of alpha, which the default is 1, and we're just going to do 0.5. That generated a new MLrun ID on our MLruns directory here. So we see the new AA45 ID, which is this one right here. And what we can do is just do an MLflow deployments update command. So this is very, very similar to the create command. It's just the difference is in an update. And we pass the path exactly to the same to the directory that we want to deploy, right? In this case, is the new run ID. So that's what we're going to do here. I'm just going to do MLruns 0 and AA45, and that's the one we want. Artifacts model. Again, this is just going to take a minute. It's going to update upload the new serialized model to the Algorithmia platform and build a new algorithm on the platform for the new model. So again, we're just going to take a super quick break while this runs, and we'll be back to do a new query, and we'll see that the model was updated. Okay, so the new deployment is ready in the Algorithmia platform, so we can also take a look at that. If we go back to the builds page and we refresh here, we'll see the new build was created. So this is the new version that we need to use to query it. So we just go back to the same command we had before. Here we can query the new model. What we would expect here to see is a different number than the one we saw before, right? So we saw a 10 point something as the result. So because we train a new model and this is the same data, we should expect a different prediction based on the updated model. So there we have it. We have 4.13. So it's a totally completely new model that it was deployed into the Algorithmia platform very, very quickly and easy. So just to quickly recap, MLflow Algorithmia, our new integration library with MLflow, it allows MLflow users to very quickly and easily deploy any pre-trained model and any experiment that they have to the Algorithmia platform. Take a look at it. It's very easy to install and to get it up and running, and let us know any feedback that you guys have for the library and for future integration paths that you want to have with Algorithmia. Thank you.